Dear students, in this session I will explain some special types of rings. Those are integral domain, and next one field, and next one division ring or skew field, division ring or skew field. So first of all, ring is divided into three types: integral domain, field and division ring. So here a ring is said to be integral domain. A ring is called an integral domain if it is definition. A ring is called an integral domain. Simply I write I dot D because integral domain. If it is commutative ring and has unity element and every non-zero has no zero divisors. So then a ring satisfying these three properties, then it is called integral domain. A ring, it is commutative ring. If it is commutative ring and has unity element and has no zero divisors, that means without zero divisors, then a ring is called integral domain. Field. What is field? A ring is said to be field if it is first of all it is commutative ring and has unity element, and third one, every non-zero element is invertible. Every non-zero element invertible with respect to multiplication. So first of all, I tell about multiplicative inverse because we know that the additive inverse, but here mentioned about multiplicative inverse. Multiplicative inverse definition is that multiplicative inverse, that is a commutative ring with unity element. If a non-zero element of R is invertible, if there exists a B is belongs to R such that AB is equal to 1. A commutative ring with unity element and a non-zero element are invertible under multiplication if there exists some element in R such that AB is equal to 1. We multiply with B, then we get unity element, then B is called inverse of A. It can be written as A inverse is equal to B. From group theory we have, if A is a non-zero element of ring, then its inverse is A inverse and it is unique. The inverse of every element is unique with respect to addition or with respect to multiplication. In group theory, with respect to multiplication is also called multiplicative identity. It is called multiplicative identity. Here, multiplicative inverse. Here, A into A inverse is equal to 1. 1 is called multiplicative identity. Here, A into A inverse is equal to A inverse into A is equal to 1. Then, A is invertible under multiplication and A inverse is denoted as A inverse. That value is here B. So, a ring commutative ring with unity element, and we take any non-zero element of R. For this element there exists some other element B belongs to R such that AB is equal to 1. Then we say that A is invertible under multiplication. Here also the every non-zero element of ring is invertible with respect to multiplication. So here a ring is said to be field. A ring is said to be field when it is commutative ring and has unity element, and every non-zero element of R is invertible under multiplication. Then it is called field. So here field and then integral domain, and next is division ring. A little bit difference between field and division ring, because here a ring is called division ring if it is, first of all, it is ring and has unity element, and second condition is every non-zero element is invertible with respect to multiplication. So here field is commutative ring, here division ring is only ring. So a ring is called division ring if it has unity element and every non-zero element is invertible under multiplication, then it will be division ring or skew field. Here field has an extra quality is commutative ring. So the difference between the division ring and the skew field is that it is commutative, it is just ring. So we add commutative property to this division ring, then it will be field. So a commutative division ring is field. So three types of rings, those are integral domain, field and division ring. So here a ring is called an integral domain. First of all, it is commutative and has unity element. Here no zero divisors. So integral domain has no zero divisors. So these two are common, field and integral domain. Here has no zero divisors. Here every non-zero element is invertible under multiplication. This is field, this is integral domain, this is skew field. Skew field and field are very similar. So we can add commutative law to skew field, then it will be field. So every commutative division ring is field. So I will give examples to integral domain and field division ring. Here integral domain, for example, you know that this z plus comma dot is a ring with respect to addition and dot, because z is a set of integers. The set of integers is a ring with respect to addition and multiplication, and also commutative ring. That means it is satisfying the commutative law, that is AB is equal to BA, and also has unity element, that is 1. So A into 1 is equal to 1 into A is equal to A for all A belongs to Z. So 1 is unity element of Z. So here Z satisfying commutative ring and has unity element. So now has no zero divisors. Is it has zero divisors or without zero divisors? So verify that. We take any two elements. In the ring of integers or natural number system have no zero divisors, because if we take any two numbers product is equal to 0, then one of the numbers must be equal to 0. So in natural numbers or integers or real numbers or rational numbers, their product, to take two numbers product AB is equal to 0, then one of the must be equal to 0. So Z has no zero divisors. That implies Z is integral domain. Here Z plus comma dot is an integral domain. Obviously Q plus comma dot, that is rational numbers, and R plus comma dot set of real numbers is also integral domains. Now field. Here field q plus comma dot set of rational numbers. Q is commutative ring and has unity element 1 and every non-zero element is invertible under multiplication. Q also satisfying this property because here elements are fractions, that means p by q form, where q is belongs to z. So if we take 2 is belongs to z, if 2 belongs to z, then its inverse 2 into 1 by 2 is equal to get unity element 1. So 1 by 2 is belongs to z. Here 1 by 2 is belongs to z. Sorry, q is a rational number. So the multiplicative inverse of 2 is 1 by 2. Their product is equal to the unity element. Therefore, every non-zero element of q is invertible under multiplication. So for q plus comma dot is field. Similarly, r plus comma dot is also field, the real numbers. So every non-zero real number is invertible under multiplication. This is also similar. Here q plus comma dot and r plus comma dot are skew fields. But z plus comma dot is not a field because here only 1 and minus 1 are invertible under multiplication. Here 1 and minus 1 are only invertible with respect to multiplication. Therefore, 1 and minus 1 are invertible elements of our remaining elements are not invertible with respect to multiplication. So, z plus dot is not a field, but it is integral domain. So, q plus comma dot, r plus comma dot are the field and skew fields. Now, we see the theorem on field. Every field has no zero divisors. Statement is that every field has no zero divisors. Let f plus comma dot statement every field has no zero divisors. No zero divisors. Let f plus comma dot be a ring. F plus comma dot be a ring. Field. Let f plus comma dot be a field. We prove that f has no zero divisors. What is the definition of zero divisors? Has no zero divisors or without zero divisors is that if take AB is equal to 0 implies A is equal to 0 or B equal to 0. We have to prove f has no zero divisors. That means without zero divisors. Let we take A comma B belongs to f and A not equal to 0 and their product AB equal to 0 implies here A is a non-zero element of f. F is field. Here f is field. So, by the definition of a field, every non-zero element of f is invertible under multiplication. So, there exists A inverse is belongs to f such that A into A inverse is equal to 1. A into A inverse is equal to 1. Now, to multiply A inverse with AB is equal to 0 with A inverse on both sides. Then AB equal to 0 implies A inverse into AB is equal to A inverse into 0. That implies by associative law A inverse into A into B is equal to 0. That implies A inverse into A is unity element 1. So here 1 into B is equal to 0, that is B is equal to 0. Here we taken the product AB is equal to 0. In this A is a non-zero element of f. So here we have to prove AB is equal to 0, m plus A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. Already we taken as A is a non-zero element in this product, then we have to prove B is equal to 0. Then we get B is equal to 0. Similarly, we taken as AB is equal to 0 and B not equal to 0, then we get A is equal to 0. Therefore, the product AB is equal to 0, m plus A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. Therefore, F has no zero divisors. No zero divisors. Next theorem is statement: a division ring has no zero divisors. A division ring has no zero divisors. The statement is that a division ring has no zero divisors. What is division ring? A ring with unity element and every non-zero element is invertible. So you have to prove our division ring has no zero divisors. What is have zero divisors? Without zero divisors means that if we take the product AB is equal to 0, in this A is equal to 0 or B equal to 0. Here already we proved one theorem, that is a field has no zero divisors. So same proof we write for this theorem, because here F is field. You taken as here F is division ring. Same proof. Let we take A comma B belongs to F and A not equal to A non-zero element. Since F is division ring, we write here F is division ring. That means every non-zero element of F is invertible under multiplication. So there exists A inverse belongs to F such that A into A inverse is equal to 1. So then we get same procedure. So we write same proof to this theorem. Next, one more theorem has, that is every field is integral domain. Every field is integral domain. Here field is commutative ring with unity element and every non-zero element is invertible. Integral domain is commutative ring with unity element and has no zero divisors. So field and integral domain have two common properties. Those are commutative ring with unity element. So field will be integral domain if it has no zero divisors. That means we have to prove field has no zero divisors, then it will be integral domain. So already we proved that field has no zero divisors. So here also we write the proof, same proof to this theorem. Now next theorem: a finite integral domain is field. A finite integral domain is field. Theorem statement: a finite integral domain is field. Proof: let D be the integral domain which is finite, so which contains finite number of elements. We taken as 0, 1, 1, A1, A2 and so on An. Be integral domain. So in this set we have A1, A2 and so on n elements, and 0 is 0 element of the integral domain and 1 is the unity element of the integral domain. So totally it has n plus 2 elements. Therefore D contains n plus 2 elements which is finite. So which is finite. Now we have to prove D is field. We prove that D is field. So by definition, of the field is that a ring is commutative and has unity element, and every non-zero element of D is invertible under multiplication, then D will be field. Here D is also commutative ring and has unity element because it is integral domain and having no zero divisors. So D already satisfied the conditions of a field commutative ring with unity element. Just we have to prove every non-zero element of D is invertible under multiplication, then it is field. So we take a non-zero element A not equal to 0 belongs to D. Now consider the products. Consider the products with 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on A1. Those are non-zero elements. With the non-zero elements, those are 1, A into 1 and A into A1 and A into A2 and so on, A into AN are the, consider the products. These products are elements of D because by closure law D is ring. So by closure law with respect to multiplication, we take A comma B belongs to D, then their product AB is also belongs to D. Here A into 1, here A1, A2 also are elements of D. A is also non-zero element of D. Their products are also belongs to D. Therefore are the elements of D. But here D is finite set which contains 0, 1 and so on, A1, A2 answer are distant elements. So if maybe in these products any two of are the same. Now we check any two of these products are same or not. So we take if possible A into AI is equal to AAJ. Here A into AI one product and AAJ other product to taken as these two products are same if possible for I not equal to J. That means AI and AJ are not equal because AI and AJ are distant elements of D. Here this is finite set. So these are all the elements are distant elements. So here A and A are distant but their products may be equal. Then by cancellation law, here the cancellation laws hold in ring or so by left cancellation law we cancel it A, then we get AI is equal to AJ. But here A and AJ are distant elements of D, but we will get AI equal to AJ, which is contradiction. Because we have to assume that their products, if maybe in these products any two of are equal, but here you get a contradiction. So all the products are distant, which is contradiction. Therefore all the products A into A1, that is A into 1, AA1 and so on, AN are distinct elements of D. Distant elements of D. Now all these elements are elements of D. Here D contains 0, 1, A1, A2 also AN and plus 2 elements, and also all the products are also elements of D. By counting all these products, then one of the products will be equal to any one of these elements. So here first product A into 1. A into 1 is equal to first element 1 is equal to 1, or one of the product A into AI is equal to the 1. Here A into 1 is equal to 1, that implies A is equal to 1. That is A is a unity element R, but here D has unity element 1. So another product is A into AI is equal to 1. That means that A multiply with AI, then we get the unity element 1. So this can be written as for A not equal to 0 belongs to D, there exists some B, that is AI. B is equal to AI such that AB is equal to 1. The product AB is equal to 1. Here D is commutative ring. So we taken as AB is equal to BA is equal to 1. That means that this is the definition for the multiplicative inverse. That is, we take here A is a non-zero element of D and we multiply with B, that is A, we get the unity element. So B is the inverse of A. Therefore B is inverse of A. Then A is invertible element under multiplication. Therefore A is invertible under multiplication. Invertible with respect to multiplication. Therefore every non-zero element of D is invertible with respect to multiplication. Therefore D is field. D is field. So here we taken as D is commutative ring and here we have to prove that D is field. So every finite integral domain is field. Now we see the definition of characteristic of a ring. The characteristic of a ring is defined as the characteristic of a ring. Definition: characteristic of a ring. The characteristic of a ring. Let R be a commutative ring with unity element. The characteristic of a ring is defined as, let R be a commutative ring with unity element. The characteristic of a ring is defined as, the characteristic of a ring is defined as, there exists a least positive integer n such that, there exists a least positive integer n such that there exists a least positive integer n such that Na is equal to 0 for all A belongs to R. Then we say that the characteristic of R is n. Here Na means integral multiples of A, that can be written as A plus A plus A plus up to n terms. So here every element of R satisfying this equation, that is Na is equal to 0 where n is least positive integer. If there is no such positive integer, n such that Na is equal to 0, if there is no such positive integer n such that Na is equal to 0, then the characteristic of a ring is, 0 or infinite. So every element of R satisfying this equation, n is equal to 0, then we see that the characteristic of a ring is n. If there is no such positive integer such that n is equal to 0, we say that the characteristic of a ring is 0 or infinite. This is the definition of a units and associates. Units. What is unit? Let R be a commutative ring with unity element and A is an element of R. For this A, there exists some other element B such that AB is equal to 1. 1 is the unity element of the ring R. AB means A into B. When we multiply A with the B element, other element B, then we get unity element 1, then A is unit. That means which element has a multiplicative inverse, that element is called unit. Let R be a commutative ring with unity element. For A naught, A is an element of R. If there exists some other element B belongs to R such that AB is equal to 1, then A is unit. Obviously B is also unit of R. So which element has a multiplicative inverse, that element is called unit. For example, Z plus comma dot, that is the ring of integers. In this ring, only two elements have multiplicative inverse. Those elements are 1 comma minus 1, because 1 into 1 is 1 and minus 1 into minus 1 is 1. So here 1 is the unity element of the ring. So 1 and minus 1 are invertible under multiplication. So 1 comma minus 1 are the units of Z only. Here 2 we take 2 is belongs to Z. 2 into 1 by 2 is 1, but 1 by 2 is does not belongs to Z. Therefore 2 is not invertible under multiplication. So the remaining elements are not invertible under multiplication. The only elements 1 and minus 1 are invertible under multiplication. Therefore 1 comma minus 1 are units of Z. Next definition, associates. Let R be a commutative ring. With unity element. With unity, A comma B belongs to R. If for A comma belongs to R, if B is equal to UA, where U is unit of R, then A comma B are associates. Here R be a commutative ring with unity element, and you take any two elements in R, then these two are represent as B is equal to UA or A is equal to UB. Here U is must be unit of the ring R. Then A comma B are said to be units of R. For example, we take the ring of integers Z plus comma dot. First of all, we know about units of the ring. The ring of integers has only two units. Those are 1 comma minus 1. So we take any element in Z. Then this element can be represented as by using these units. Here we represent B is equal to UA or A is equal to UB, then A comma B are associates of R. Here A, first unit is 1, so 1 into A is A. Again minus A, we use minus 1 into minus A, then we get A. Minus 1 into minus A, we get A. Therefore, A can be represented as 1 into A and also minus 1 into minus a. Therefore, the associates of a are a comma minus a. The associates of a are a comma minus a. If you take any element in Z, the associate of 2 is 2 comma minus 2. The associates of 3 comma minus 3 are 3 comma minus 3. So now we see the problem about units and associates. First problem is prove that the plus or minus 1 comma plus or minus I are the only units of the ring of Gaussian integers. Gaussian integers. Problem. Prove that plus or minus 1 comma plus or minus I are the only units of the ring of Gaussian integers. Ring of Gaussian integers. So the ring of Gaussian integers is denoted as Z of I, which contains elements a plus ib form where a comma b belongs to integers. So Zi is the ring of Gaussian integers. Those are complex numbers, but the a, b, r must be belongs to the integers. So now we have to find the units of the ring of Gaussian integers. Here, what is the unity element in Zi? Every element is a complex number from a plus ib. So the unity element is 1 plus 0i is the unity element of Zi. Unity element of Zi. Now, let x plus iy be the unit of Zi. Here we taken as let x plus iy be the unit of Zi. By the definition of a unit, if there exists some other element b belongs to R such that ab equal to 1. Here a is x plus y. We take another element, then by definition there exists b belongs to b is equal to something u plus iv is belongs to Zi such that x plus iy into u plus iv equal to unity element 1. Now we have to find the possibility values of the x and y integers. So here the product of two numbers is equal to the unity element 1 plus 0i. Now these two are complex numbers. We take a magnitude modulus, that is x plus iy, modulus of x plus iy, u plus iy is equal to modulus of 1, that is 1. Here modulus of a complex number is denoted as root of x square plus y square and root of u square plus v square and is equal to 1. Squaring on both sides, then we get x square plus y square into u square plus v square is equal to 1. Then here the product of two numbers is equal to 1. The product of two numbers is equal to 1. Then here these are positive numbers. So therefore x square plus y square is equal to 1 and u square plus v square is equal to 1. But we want only x square plus y square is equal to 1. Then we take x square plus y square is equal to 1. Sum of the two positive integers is equal to 0. Then the possible values of the x square and y square are x square equal to 0 and y square equal to 1. 0 plus 1 is 1 or x square is equal to 1 and y square is equal to 0. We take x square is equal to 0 and y square is equal to 1. X square equal to 0, comma y square is equal to 1 implies we have x values 2, those are 0 comma 0, and y square is equal to 1, we have y equal to plus or minus 1. Again x square is equal to 1 comma y square is equal to 0 implies x values are x equal to plus or minus 1 comma y equal to 0 comma 0. Now write the possible values of x plus y. X plus y, we take first pair 0 and plus 1. 0 plus I into 1, that is I. Next possibility value 0 plus minus 1, that is minus I. Next possibility value 1 plus 0 into I, that is 1. Next possibility value minus 1 plus 0 into I is equal to minus 1. So the possible values of x plus y are minus I, here I minus I, 1 minus 1. So we get plus or minus 1 comma plus or minus y. Therefore the units of zi are plus or minus 1 comma plus or minus I. Now see the problem on associates. Associates. We find all the associates of 2 minus I in the ring of Gaussian integers. So ring of Gaussian integers is denoted as Z of I. Z of I is equal to set brackets a plus ib such that a comma b belongs to Z. So here a is 2 minus I. The definition of a associates means if we have an element a comma b or belongs to R, then a can be represented as u into b and b can be, and or b can be represented as u into a. Here u is the unit of the ring R. So first we know about the units of the ring. So the units of Zi are, the units of Zi are 4 units. Those are plus or minus 1 comma plus or minus I. Now we have to find the associates of 2 minus I. We take here a is equal to 2 minus I. Then we multiply with units. So that is 2 minus I into 1 is 2 minus I. 2 minus I into minus 1 minus 2 plus I. 2 minus I into I. 2I plus 1. 2 minus I into minus I. Minus 2I minus 1. Here a is equal to ub, then a comma b are associates. Now we write here a is 2 minus I and u is, units are first 1. When we multiply 2 minus I with 1, we get 2 minus I. Again 2 minus I can be represented as the associate unit minus 1 into minus 2 plus I. Minus 1 into minus 2 plus I, we get 2 minus I. Again 2 minus I can be represented as I into 2I plus 1. Again 2 minus I is equal to minus I into minus 2I minus 1. Therefore the associates of 2 minus I are, associates of 2 minus I are 2 minus I, minus 2 plus I, and 2I plus 1, and minus 2 minus 1. Next problem. I will explain one more problem, that is the set of even integers. The set of even integers is commutative ring and without unity element. Without unity element. We have the set of even integers can be written as the two multiples. Now we have to prove the set of even integers is a commutative ring with unity element. Sorry, without unity element. Prove that the set of even integers is commutative ring and without unity element under usual addition and multiplication. Under usual addition and multiplication of numbers. So here the set of integers can be written as the set of, let R be equal to the set of even integers. The set of even integers written as 2x such that x belongs to z. Here z is the ring of integers. Here z is the ring of integers. So z is already ring. Now we prove that this R is commutative ring without unity element. Here commutative ring means first of all it is ring. R plus comma dot is ring, and next commutative ring. What is R plus comma dot is ring? These have three properties. Those are R plus is abelian group, and R dot is semi group, and distributive laws. Hold. If any set satisfying all these properties, then it is called ring. Here our set is set of even integers. Operations are usual addition and multiplication of numbers. So first of all we have to prove those are binary operations, and then R plus is abelian group and R dot is semi group and distributive laws. Here we define plus and addition, plus and multiplication are the operations. Now we take any two elements a comma b belongs to R. Then a is equal to 2x, b is equal to 2y, where x comma y is belongs to z. Then a plus b is 2x plus 2y, then 2 into x plus y. X plus y is again integer because x comma y are the integers. Z is ring. So by binary operation x plus y is belongs to z, where x plus y is belongs to z. Again it is a element 2 multiple. So 2 into is again even integer. Therefore x plus y is belongs to R. So plus is binary operation. Now a plus b is binary operation. Now a dot b is equal to 2x into 2y, that is 4xy, is again can be written as 2 into 2xy. So 2xy is belongs to integer. Therefore 2 multiple is again even integer. Therefore a into b is belongs to R. R contains the set of even integers. So a dot b is also even integer. Therefore plus comma dot R binary operations on R. Now we prove R plus is abelian group. First property is associative law, commutative law, identity, existence of additive identity and existence of additive inverse. First property is associative law and commutative law. Associative law is to take any three elements, ABC belongs to R, then A is 2x, B is 2y, C is 2z, where x, y, z are belongs to capital Z. Integers. So A plus B plus C is equal to 2x plus 2y plus 2z is equal to, this is again 2x plus 2y plus 2z. Here x, y, z are integers. X, y, z are integers. So this can be written as, or the right hand side value of the associative law is A plus B plus C. That is 2x plus 2y plus 2y plus 2z. So this is also 2x plus 2y plus 2z. To take common 2 into x plus y plus z. Again this is 2 into x plus y plus z. So left hand side value of the associative law is equal to the right hand side value of the associative law. Therefore associative law is satisfied in R. Now commutative law. Commutative law. That is, if take two elements in R, A plus B is equal to 2x plus 2y. Again B plus A is 2y plus 2x. Here 2 common y plus x. Then here x, y are integers. Therefore x plus y is equal to y plus x. Therefore x plus y. So both are equal. Therefore A plus B is equal to B plus A. Therefore here R is commutative with respect to addition. Next property, existence of identity, that is additive identity. Additive identity. Here we have 0 is belongs to Z. The set of even integers is of the form 2x such that x is belongs to z. We have to take 0 in z, then 2 into 0 is, here set contains taken as minus infinity, minus 2, minus 4, minus 2, 0, 2, 4 are the set of numbers. So here you take any element A belongs to R, there exists 0. There exists 0 belongs to R such that 0 plus A is equal to 0 plus 2x is equal to 2x is equal to A. So 0 plus A is equal to A. Therefore 0 is, there exists 0 belongs to such that 0 plus A is equal to A. Therefore 0 is additive identity. Next, existence of additive inverse. Additive inverse. You take any element, A belongs to Z. We have negative inverse, A negative elements. There exists minus A is belongs to Z such that minus A is equal to minus 2x, where minus x is belongs to Z. Therefore, minus A plus A is equal to minus 2x plus 2x is again additive identity 0. Therefore, minus A is equal to minus 2x is additive inverse of A. Therefore, R is here for the additive identity, existence of inverse, associative law, commutative law and binary operation. Then R comma plus A is abelian group. From group theory we have also the set of even integers is a ring with group with respect to addition. So from group theory also we write R comma plus is a abelian group. Now we have to prove R dot is semi group. R dot is semi group, that is distributive law with respect to multiplication. What is distributive law? We take any three elements, distributive laws. ABC belongs to R, then A into B plus C is equal to AB plus AC. Again B plus C into A is equal to B dot A plus C dot A. So A dot B plus C is equal to A is 2x dot B plus C is 2y plus 2z. Here 2 common, then x dot y plus z. Here x, y, z are the integers in z. Z is ring. So in that ring the distributive laws hold. So this can be written as x dot y plus x dot z. Therefore again we multiply with 2, then 2x dot 2y plus 2x dot 2z, that is A, B, A, C. Similarly we prove that B plus C dot A, that is B dot A plus C dot A. Then here distributive laws also hold. Therefore R is ring with respect to addition and multiplication. Commutative law with respect to multiplication, then it will be commutative ring. So commutative law with respect to multiplication. Commutative law with respect to multiplication, that is A dot B is equal to 2x into 2y, that is 4xy, and B dot A is also 2y into 2x, here 4yx. Here x comma y are integers, therefore z is commutative. This can be written as 4x is xy. So again bifurcate 2x into 2y, that is A dot B. So B dot A is equal to A dot B. Therefore R plus comma dot is commutative ring. But here R has no unity element 1, because here the elements are only 2 multiples. There is no 1 such that AB is equal to A into 1 is equal to 1 into A is equal to 1. Therefore R plus comma dot is commutative ring. Therefore there is no such one is belongs to R such that 1 into A is equal to A into 1 is equal to A for all A belongs to R. Therefore R is a commutative ring. It has no unity element. Commutative ring without unity element. So here we proved that the set of even integers is a commutative ring with unity element. We have to prove any problem, that is we give a set of complex numbers, then it is also we have to prove ring without commutative ring or field. Then same procedure. First of all we have to prove by the definition plus comma dot are binary operations and the properties of a ring. Then we verify all the properties to the given set of numbers. Then all the properties are verified are proved, then it is ring. If any property of the ring is not satisfied, then the ring that set is not a ring. So Dear students, any set of integers, if a problem, then we observe that what is the numbers, what is the elements of the set, and then what are the operations. Then we have to prove all the properties of the ring or integral domain or field. Then given sets are ring, commutative ring, or integral domain or field. Thank you.